Hey gang, what's good? Happy New Year! What's good? What's up? What up, sweet peeps? It's your girl Rochelle in the building. Wishing y'all a happy New Year! What's good? What's up? Yeah, I be checking out the telegirls. I like, what's good? What's up? I don't listen to them, but hey, hey, what's up? You been waiting on? I've been waiting for your love channels. My love channels? Okay, that's a new one. Yay! Aw, who is that? Delicious 60. Aw, you made it live. You made it live. Hey, I need y'all to give this video. I needed to get to 500 likes. I really do need y'all to get that to 500 likes because what I'm getting ready to give you. Did I even put a heading on here? I think I did. I've been going full force all morning, so I don't remember. But anywho, it's your girl Ro in the building, and I'm coming to give y'all life this new year with the live video without the intro. I'm coming to give you life on how to melt your chocolate and get a smooth apple. I'm about to change your life. Life changer already. Getting ready to feel it. I know y'all been having problems with that elephant skin and them lines and all that stuff and don't understand how to get your chocolate smooth without doing a double boil and all of that. Well, you already know. If you connected to Ro, I'm for sure going to give you some methods and techniques that I use and that I know that will help you and get you along the way in this game. So if y'all ready, let's go. If you're new to my channel, I welcome y'all to my channel. Happy New Year to you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to let you know your girl Ro is on. And it's going to be a magnificent year this year. Nothing but miracles and blessings, prosperity to all y'all this year, okay? This year, it's time to grind for sure. It's time to grind for sure. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm excited. I hope you all are. But I wanted to, and I'll take some questions after this, but I just wanted to give you the basics of what you need to know about the chocolate and the science of melting chocolate. It's very, you know, baking and treat making is nothing but a science. It's things that you have to understand and know and get the concept of what it is that you're doing and do what works for you or do what works well with you or the products that you are able to get or have before you invest and get other things, either that I use or you seen somebody else use, or and meaning like before you go, you want to go from Wilton's to Merckens to Ghirardelli chocolate. So it all plays a part because Wilton's is like a starter's chocolate to me. It works well. It's just that you have to implement some things to get it to be smooth. I use Merckens. I prefer Merckens and Ghirardelli's. Ghirardelli's is a little bit expensive than the Merckens, but Merckens works well. So what I like to use is a glass container when melting my chocolate. I like to use a measuring cup because even though the chocolate melts down, which this not even chocolate, is candy melts, and I want everybody to understand there's a difference between chocolate and candy melts, and I'll get into that. I like to use a glass container when melting my candy melts because it melts better and it works well with melting your candy melts or chocolate. I like to use the measuring cup also because it has the measurements on there and it lets me know that I have about 12 to 16 ounces of candy melts or chocolate that I'm melting, and it helps me to add the amount of crystals, paramount crystals, or shortening to that particular ounces or cups that I'm melting. Okay, that helps with not over um, adding oil to your chocolate so that you know you don't have too much oil or you don't have enough oil, and it helps you determine how much more you need to add in if you follow these steps. Okay, so everything that I'm sharing with you plays a factor in melting and getting smooth chocolate. Next thing to go over is your microwave. Okay, your microwave, I know a lot of people don't, even me. Back then I didn't understand. When we all get microwaves, we take it out the box, we plug it up, boom, we start using it. You know that your microwave has is temperatured, whether it's high, medium, or low. Okay, this when you get your microwave, it's already set for high, and it's somewhere on your microwave, depending on the microwave that you have, that you can turn down your microwave if you choose to melt your chocolate. Well, we already know we're not going to go all those extra steps, turning up the microwave, then turning it back down to a different setting. But for any reason that your microwave is not working and your chocolate is just not melting, check the settings on your microwave and make sure that it's on high. Okay, melting chocolate or candy melts is a science, like I mentioned, and it's a science because I didn't used to like the melting pot from Wilton's. That's basically a little crock pot that keeps the temperature at a regulated level so that the chocolate will stay warm and that it don't overheat. And that's what you don't want to do, is overheat your chocolate when you melt it. If your chocolate is too hot, okay, and you go ahead and dip, then that's when you're going to get the elephant skin. And to prevent that, you want to let your candy melts or your chocolate cool down. And that's the importance of dipping and getting smooth chocolate. So you have to watch, like I said, it's a process, it's science. So you have to watch how you melt your chocolate, and you also have to make sure that your microwave is on high, if and this is if you're melting your candy melts or chocolate and using your microwave. Oh, you're welcome. Um, so make sure that your settings, you may not even know that, because like me, I plug my microwave up, boom, I use it. Put 30 seconds, 2 minutes, what, hey, I'm using my microwave. But we never was taught that we had to check the settings of, well, some of us would never was taught to check our settings of our microwave. So, and this is just to give you knowledge on why that your chocolate may not, or your candy melts may not be warming up like it should, or anything that you put in the microwave is not heating like it should. Just check your settings. But you want to put it on high, and you want to melt your chocolate for 30 seconds. Okay? So I'm going to, and if you have to do it a few times, that's okay. Melting your candy melts or your chocolate, Okay, these is candy melts. So melting the candy melts, this candy melts are considered to be tempered, already tempered chocolate. Yeah, Gary, that's a good, that's an awesome chocolate to use. It melts very well, so it doesn't take that much um, to melt. So this is all supposed to be already tempered chocolate, but tempering chocolate is definitely something that has to be taught and has to be worked on if you don't understand that. Tempering chocolate, you bring the heat up and then you bring the temperature back down so that it can set, which I'm going to get into the oils of the setting when adding it to your candy melts or chocolate. So I'm going to heat this up for 30 seconds. In which my microwave is already on high. Oh, I gotta get my apples, huh? Taking out the microwave. Now, if it doesn't melt right away, you just want to take your heat resistant spatula or spoon, whatever you're using, and just, mix it around a little bit. Try to get to the bottom as possible so that that is mixed a little bit there. And then put it back in for another 30 seconds. Okay, you just want to move the candy melts around a little bit. Now what I like to do is transfer my chocolate to a bowl, okay, whether it's plastic or it's a glass bowl, something that will be able to go back in the microwave to reheat your chocolate like I did with this one, okay. I can put this back in there and reheat it. Okay, so this is the second 30-second interval, and we want to work that chocolate around the warmness of the glass container so that all the candy melts can melt. And this is often, a lot of times, a lot of people, even though they see candy melts that's still in the chocolate that hasn't been melted down, and they just rush and put it back in the microwave so it completely melt. No, the warmness of your container will help melt down your candy melts. You know, just generously stir around the candy melts or your chocolate so that it can melt down. Okay, and you see you got still got some there, but it's going to melt down. There's no need to put it back in the microwave if they're all melted. Okay, even if your candy melts or your chocolate is really smooth and flowing, then there's no need to add any oil like substance to your chocolate or candy melts. Okay, but make sure you do some nice strokes, not, beating it up. You ain't coloring it right now. So you just want to work it around your glass container so that it can feel the warmness and melt. Okay. And I'm pretty much satisfied with my melting, and I am going to touch on the different oils, but I just wanted to show you the process of this. And we're going to go ahead and add that to my container. Adding that on in there. Now, you could choose to do other ways, but you know, this work, like I stated, do what works best for you. This is just my process, and I'm cool with my process. And that's how I got these apples. And that's how I got these apples. Which, at the beginning of the year, I'm going to show you how to stack these. Uh-oh. Yes, you can color the chocolate. Now, this is milk. This is milk chocolate. This is milk candy milk chocolate, candy milk. So, the only color that will go in here is black. Okay? If you got other colored candy melts, do the same method and technique. It will work. So after this process, after you have melted down your candy melts or chocolate, what you want to do is then this is when you warm it in the microwave. Okay? What you want to do is let your chocolate set for a little bit. Okay? We got a good even flow. So I just wanted to set to cool just a little bit to bring the temperature down so I can begin to dip. Okay? Press down, just get you a little rubber mallet or something to press it down with using your stick. Okay? Once again, you want to make sure that your stick is upright in a nice upright position. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to I was going to double stack that. And I like to always find the front position of my apple so that I know that it's going to be in an upright position. Okay? All right. Make sure your apples are dried off. You could dip with clean apples. I like to clean my apples, and I like to either give, the customer the option if they want to keep them green or clean. You still want to clean these, just, clean them off with regular warm water, and if you want to keep these coated. Okay? So going in, I dropped a leaf in there. Going in as so. I always tip. And just tap. You want to make sure you get that excess off. Okay, and y'all know me, I always scrape my bottoms. Place it on your mat or parchment paper and let it sit. Or you can put it on a tray and then put it in the freezer. All right? If you put it in the freezer, you do not want it to be in there too long, but they should set. If it's properly melted, it should set while you're dipping your other apples, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do it with a unclean apple. meaning that the wax is not off, to show you that you can still dip a green apple. Because I know I have had questions. Do I have to boil my apples to clean to get the wax off? It's really up to you or your customer, but I'm just showing you that you can still dip with the wax on your Granny Smith apple. Okay, I hope this answers a lot of questions that a lot of people have had. Those that are in my classes and those that have followed me have asked me this question. Here you have it. Right here on YouTube. And just sit that down, and you see it's covered. There's no elephant skin. And I'm going to show you once it completely dry. And I'm going to go ahead and do this one. Okay. Tapping it. I hope y'all enjoying this. 500 likes, I'm telling y'all. Just tap. If you tap and you get elephant skin, that means you either overheated your chocolate or your chocolate is just still too hot. And it's not properly melted. Okay? And it also varies on what type of candy melts or chocolate that you are using. If you're using Ghirardelli's, it's really, we'll put this over here. All right. Excuse me. So, y'all ready for the results? Someone asked me, can I cut the apple to see if it doesn't fall off? Me, per se, if it falls off, I'm going to get a knife. I mean, candy or chocolate is not going to last on it forever. I don't know what people are expecting when the candy is on there, but this is freshly done. I'm going to let it sit for a minute before I cut. But it shouldn't fall off. The only time if the chocolate if it falls off, if it's in the freezer and it's in there too long and then you go into cutting it, it's going, majority of the chocolate may fall off because the chocolate is froze. So if you cut into it and some of it fall off, then that could be the reason. Okay, but just showing you the results. You may have a little bubble here and there. You may have a little bubble here and there, but it's smooth. Okay, can y'all see that? Will it sweat? It depends on the humidity in your house. It shouldn't. But if it's humid, trust me, if it's humid, remember, this is baking and treat making is a science, y'all. If it's humid in the area that you preparing your treats or dipping, it is going to sweat. It is going to get soft. And it will smudge with the touch of your hand. So if you are decorating your chocolate apples, it's best to wear some white gloves when decorating these apples. And I haven't even put them in the freezer, but as you see, I'm not worried about all these little fine holes because that's okay. You can't prevent everything, but you can master at what you're doing, and what you're doing is trying to get a smooth covered apple. Okay? And this the one that has the green still on it. That means it's still coated. And these two are the ones that I have cleaned doing the boiling method. Okay? And this process was done without doing a double boil. All right? So I'm going to let that dry a little bit. Someone wants to see me cut into it to see if the chocolate falls off. Well, it all depends. If chocolate been sitting for a long time, the chocolate may fall off. It varies. It really varies. It varies how much you have dipped your chocolate. If you double dip to get it thicker, it all varies. Okay? And remember, I just dipped this. It's still a little soft. So if I'm cutting into it, do it fall off. If it's properly dipped, it shouldn't fall off. But like I said, if it's in the freezer, and if it was in there a little long, and then you cut into it, yes, it's going to fall off. So there you have it. $500 likes, y'all. 500 likes. Okay. And there's this. This is the one that was clean. Does which one have wax? This is the one that has the wax on there. If you can see it here. And this one doesn't have wax. And this one didn't have wax. I was just showing you all that is no difference. You can still dip with wax on, wax off. 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 And it's still smooth. What type of chocolate is best to use? My preference is Merckens chocolate. That's my preference. I think that's the best chocolate to use. Ghirardelli's is a good chocolate to use. Wilton's is okay to use, but I don't know what they're changing, but my preference is Merckens. And if you know how to melt it properly, it will work for you. A lot of people use the what's the name of the chocolate that's in Walmart and the grocery stores? It come in a little long pack. Lord, I don't know what that is. Thank you for subscribing. The white almond bark. Thank you, Kimberly. Almond bark. Almond bark is just like easy tempered. And whatever substance is mixed into that, it melts really smooth, and you can dip smooth, get some smooth treats out of that. I just don't like the I don't like the taste of it, and that's just my preference. What may works for me may not work for somebody else. So keep that in mind. Everything, I try to keep it as open as possible, because what works for me may not work for everybody else. But it's how you master the skill, how you master the technique. It's not going to happen overnight. Just master the skill, and you will see that it will come and it will work for you. And then if it don't, then you find something else to work with. And if almond bark works for you, then roll with it. If you can use almond bark and mix a little Merckens, you can do that too. But my preference is Merckens. Okay? I'm going to talk about right quickly before I take any more other questions, the oil. Okay. First, let's talk about these two oils here. Okay. This is oil. Oil is considered oil. Oil, oil, oil. All right. Oil, a lot of people use to add to their candy melts or chocolate to help become smooth. And as you've seen my demonstration, how you can get smooth chocolate apples, you know, that should work. For any reason that you're working with some chocolate that may have set for a minute, that's been in your cabinet for a minute or whatever, or you working with Wilston's, then, you know, I see a lot of people use vegetable oil. Well, oil is oil, and it does not set. And if you add it to any candy melts or chocolate, it will remain oily and it won't set for a while unless you put it in the freezer. So if it doesn't set in your chocolate and you're waiting for, say you dip a strawberry and that strawberry is still wet and you use this oil, well, guess what? You got to take it to the freezer so that it can set, meaning dry up. Okay? So I don't recommend that you use oil. A lot of people still do. But it just takes away from the taste, and it takes away from the product and the look. So this oil is oil. You want to use something that's going to set, and that's the difference when you use the shortening. Vegetable shortening is an oil. But if you see here, it sets. When you melt it, it becomes oil. But when it dries, it sets into the white substance that you see here. And that's the same as the Paramount crystals. It's oil. It's an oil-like substance, okay? But its substance, once it sets, then it becomes into the white flaky crystals. And this is what you want to use when adding to your chocolate, okay? And I add about 1 tablespoon to a 16-ounce jar of, and that's why I like using the measuring cup, because I know I can add 1 tablespoon of, 1 tablespoon of the Paramount crystals to a 16-ounce bag, or 1 to 2 tablespoons to a 16-ounce bag of candy melts. So it's just like shortening. Shortening sets. Vegetable oil don't. This is shortening. This is oil. And you want to add something that's going to set your chocolate, meaning it's going to dry as such as this. So when you add it, you don't have to, sometimes you don't have to take it and put it in the freezer. It will set when you get done dipping, and just let it sit and air dry it out. Okay, I hope that was very informative for you all. And the same thing for coconut oil. It sets, but it's a lot of people that is allergic to coconut oil. And what happens is, you know, we don't know if you're using it, so it's very important that you let your customers know, you know, I use coconut oil for dipping. I mean, for melting my chocolate. Or you definitely want to let them know before you do all of this, so that you don't use the coconut oil. But if you notice, coconut oil sets just like it does shortening. When you purchase it, it's a set substance, a white substance, I mean. Okay, any questions on that? Let me see. Learn how to make apples. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. How can I get the recipe from the beginning? I missed out on the chat. Well, once I'm done with this video, then you can rewatch the video. This is just live. It's just a process that I use to make the candy apples, and I guess I'm going to have to just come back and show you how to double stack candy apples. You're welcome. You're welcome. And everything that I've used or shared, I will give me time and I will put it in the description box. Okay? I just wanted to share this with you all. Did I use the long stick? I didn't use the long stick, but just to show you when you double stack, how I double stack my apples. A chocolate apple. You want to have on white gloves. Okay. And you just want to leave just a little bit open here. Okay, scrape off as much as you can. Now, you know you just can't dip an apple and then pick it back up without it being smooth. So what I do is just line up on another stick, but you want to have a longer stick. Press it down. Uh-oh. I don't have any gloves. Okay, you want to work that down, and I just work this off here. Okay. Well, at least bringing it through without cracking. This is not a 6. Now, what you don't want is to use a smaller stick, okay? And even if I was decorating, I wouldn't worry about this being cracked, okay? Because that's definitely going to be covered up. So that's why you use a longer stick, 6.5, or you can even use a 7.5, okay? And you have a double stacked chocolate apple. Chocolate turtles. Okay, I'll try to get to that this year. So this is a 5.5. This is a short stick, and you definitely don't want to double stack on a short stick. Okay, you want to make sure your stick is longer. Okay, just like this one is a longer stick. Forget about the prints on here. Okay. But there you have it. So if you want to decorate, make sure that the apple at the bottom is a little bit bigger than the top, or the same size roundabout when you stack them. So you just got a bonus. How about that? All right. So later in the year, I will show you how to double stack and do some creative things with these apples. Any questions? Okay. Also, in my last live video, I tried to go back and answer some of the questions that you all had. Some of you all had. I couldn't go back and answer them because they were in the chat. So if your question is missed, make sure you put it in the comment section below after this video, and I will come by and, when time permits, answer your question that you may have in this video while it was live and I missed it, and then I will come back and answer that question. Just don't forget, after the video, leave the comment that either it wasn't answered or missed, and put it in the comment section below, and I will answer it. Someone said, can you please assist with melting white chocolate? It doesn't seem to melt the same. Different colored chocolate don't melt the same, and that is correct. Or candy melts. But what I do is follow the same process. It doesn't melt the same. You may have to put your candy melt after you dip it in the freezer. But if you follow the method, just don't overheat it. And it depends on your chocolate. If you follow the method and technique, let the chocolate or the candy melt sit to cool, and then you can dip them. Now there is times where candy melts or chocolate, it gets old and you just can't work with it. You're gonna have to go and get you some new bag of candy melts or chocolate. But if you follow these techniques and methods that I just showed you at the beginning of this video, you will find that it will work for you. I pray that it will work for you. And just practice at it. If it get real thick, then you done overheated your chocolate. Because I have melted chocolate and it works well. I just follow the same method and technique. You have to try to start off with a fresh pack, follow the technique, and see how it works for you. I got 3 more minutes for questions. 3 more minutes. Any other questions? Will the caramel stick on the apple with the wax? Uh, it depends. Now, with using the caramel, depends on how you melting your caramel. If you made it homemade or sometimes. Now, when I do my caramel apples, I clean my caramel. But I will show you a recipe that I use that will stick to the green, because I like to dip like with the chocolate and then the caramel and then let the green show a little bit. So it just depends on how you're gonna dip your apple. So if you do caramel first, or if you do chocolate caramel, you can do that. But I always dip my caramel apples, coating the caramel on cleaned apples. So I remove the wax. But if you just clean the your regular apple, the waxed apple, really good. Just rinsing it up under water and wiping it down, and dip in caramel. Make sure the caramel is thick enough. The caramel have to sit a little bit, then coat it, let it sit, and then once it's cool, the caramel apple have to be cool before you dip it in the chocolate. You can't dip hot caramel in chocolate thinking it's going to set. You're welcome. How long can you cover apples stay out? How long can covered apples stay out? If they're chocolate, they can stay out for a minute if it's cool in your area. I can let these sit overnight and they're gonna be fine. They're gonna be fine. Matter of fact, these been sitting out all this morning and nothing has happened to them. Nothing. Besides my handprints and little bubble marks. That's it. You're welcome. 2 more minutes for questions. And they can stay covered as long as they properly stored. You can bag them and store them in the refrigerator, and they're gonna be fine. Okay, somebody asks, how do you get the bottom of the apple smooth? If in a lot of my videos, I scrape the side of the pot or the bowl. Once I get done dipping, I just scrape. I simply just scrape, slightly scrape, not, where you're going to tear up off the apple, but you want to slightly scrape the bottom of the apple, making sure that the excess of the chocolate has drizzled off, and place it down on your matte wax paper. And I'm talking about chocolate apples, so please, if you think of candy, this is not the video. Okay? watching you a month ago for my grandson's birthday. Watching you. I I have had 3 events. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm in business now. Congratulations. Blessings and prosperity to you, hon. That's all. That's what all it's about. Is sharing and blessing others. That's it. I'm just a vessel used by God to help His people. That's it. I love what I do. I care about what I do. Oh, ladies and gents, that is my time that I have shared with you. I hope you all enjoyed this live session. Once again, if you are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget, if your question did not get answered, leave it in the comment section below and I will get to it when time permits. And I look forward to working with you all this year, different things this year. So excited and ready for this year. I hope you all are too. Show your girl Rose some love this year, which you already have. I truly appreciate it. And I'm going to spend more time doing more this year. I still have engagements though. You know, I have been blessed to travel all over the world, you know, places that I've been and haven't been before. And last year was my first year flying because usually I drive to all my workshops. But I just thank God for allowing me to get over the fear of flying. When He says your gift will make room for you, He truly means that. So I just want to encourage you all today that let this be the first day to your success story for the rest of your life. Some things you have to let go to succeed, and make sure that it's in a positive form and not negative. If anything resulting around you negative that means you no good, it's time for you to detach from it. It's time to get in that rehab and get some people out your life that bring stress to your life, that don't have no meaning or vision to your life. If they not walking with you or rocking with you, then it's okay to let them go. It's okay. No love lost. But if you on a mission to try to get somewhere in life and leave something for your children, children's children, then it's time for some detachment. And it's okay. You have to be okay with yourself. You got to start with self first and then move on from there. So, Happy New Year once again. I wish you all well. Wish you well. And it's your girl Ro about to go, and I will definitely see y'all in my next video. Bye-bye.